In order to get your mouse work on the Raspberry Pi, this year we do not have Bluetooth USB cords. So we are going to have to take the mouse peripheral and the keyboard, follow the wire back, and we're going to need to plug it into our P-way switch. So you're going to take the mouse, you're going to find the cord, and you're going to trace it all the way back to where it's plugged in the back of the computer. Then you're going to unplug that cord. So I've unplugged both of them from the back of the keyboard, and now I'm going to take these two cables and I'm going to plug them into this P-way switch. This will connect it to both the PC and the Raspberry Pi. As long as those are nice and firm, you push, make sure that they're on. When you move your mouse should, when you move it, move on the Raspberry Pi desktop. As you can see, mine was not moving. So if that's the case, the issue is most likely that this cord and this cord need to be swapped. So you can unplug the cord in the back and then unplug this one as well and swap the places. Cord, and you keep these plugged in. Now, ideally your mouse should be working as mine is. If they're still not working, what you can do is you can unplug these two peripheral devices and you can plug them directly into the Raspberry Pi and it will work. But the catch is when you click the switch back over to your PC, your mouse is only going to work, like mine's working on both the PC and the Raspberry Pi. Your mouse will only work on the Raspberry Pi, so every time you switch back to the PC, you'll need to swap the cords from being plugged into the Raspberry Pi to in the switcher. So the whole benefit of this switcher is that our peripherals, keyboard and mouse, we can use on both the desktop device and on the Raspberry Pi, which is why it's called a switch. Make sure the Wi-Fi network you choose is provisioning. We'll also hardwire into the Ethernet with this cord. And then when you're on the computer, once you're on the Raspberry Pi and you're ready to watch a video, you should be aware that the headphones, the audio-visual jack, is currently in the tower, the desktop PC. And our switch, which is what's having the Raspberry Pi and computer have the peripherals be linked, does not have a switch for the audio-visual. So if you want to be listening to a video on the Raspberry Pi, you physically need to unplug the AV cord, and then you want to plug it in to the jack on the Raspberry Pi. Once it's plugged in, you're going to need to go on the top right to the little sound mixer, and with a right click, which is the right side of the mouse, you're going to right click on the sound settings and switch it to AV jack, which is how we just connected. Now, make sure your volume's up, mute is not on, and you should be able to watch a video on the Raspberry Pi. If you need to go back to the computer, you will physically need to unplug this peripheral, and you'll need to plug it back into the tower's port.